So interestingly, Mickey Rourke turned down 48 hours. Could have been Jack Cates, the role of Nick Nolte got. Could have been working with Eddie Murphy. Not the first time he turned down something that with Eddie Murphy. He was also offered the Beverly Hills Cop role, but instead he chose the Pope of Greenwich Village, which I liked a whole lot. That was the movie that a lot of people thought Mickey Rourke was going to be the second coming of Al Pacino until he basically became a double Junior Whopper version of him. And good actor, but never got that. It took a long time, and we never got his 80s chops again. He had the vibe, didn't quite ever fulfill that. And that's something that he chose a lot more freaky deaky thriller movies and other things. But there was a time he had potential to be what Johnny Depp got and some other actors got. He was that dude for a moment. But the 48 Hours role, which went to Nick Nolte, interestingly, I'm down to think that could his timing have worked with Eddie Murphy? Because you got to have a certain type of character to pull that off. You know, obviously you got to be with the smart aleckness of Eddie Murphy, but you got to have a certain sophistication. And Nolte had that street flavor, that dry pan, which also worked. So would they have worked together with Mickey Rourke? That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. I have to think about that for a moment because I don't know how the test run would have been with him and Eddie, but it's a trip when I think about that. Wow, he could have been. It's two movies with Eddie, and he could have had one where he was a co-star. But Mickey Rourke had a kind of dark, edgy type of vibe to him. I remember when he was in Body Heat and with William Hurt and Kathleen Turner, and that role worked really well because Ted Danson was in there way back in the day. Worked really well because he was greasy and he wasn't, he was a threat, but it was kind of rough. And it kind of had a certain edge to him. But to work with Eddie Murphy with the fast quips and the quotes, I don't know. I don't know how that would have turned out. I don't know if that would have been the kind of, I don't know. I don't know if that would have been the kind of thing that I think that would have necessarily gone his way. Because you can kind of speculate and everything, but it's one of those things that you really don't know at hand how that would have turned out. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of odd out there with that whole thing because Nick Nolte really played that role. Him and Eddie really had chemistry, and movies are all about chemistries. They really are. I mean, the craftsmanship when you're working along somebody, you have to have all those things working in concert because if you don't, it can be a disaster and it can be problematic. So it has to really gel and has to really be a flow. At that time, Eddie Murphy could have done almost anything, and he just has to have the right sidekick. And I think Mickey Rourke probably didn't want to be comedy foil. It's understandable because at that time he's busting his chops as an actor that's on the come up. Nick Nolte at the time, this was a little bit past North Dallas 40. He's becoming a sidekick, side role. So, the roles, the opportunities, and they getting kind of long in the night. So I kind of understand it. And I think it went to the right person. Because I really, as good as Mickey Rourke was, now later on, he did do, obviously, that movie with Tupac, and he had a certain vibe. But at that stage, at that place, I don't know if him and Eddie would have necessarily gelled. I don't know. So it remains to have been seen. But anyway, let me know what you think about Mickey Rourke passing up 48 hours, turned it down. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like and hit that membership because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.